Hey, what's up guys? It's a tournament in 10 minutes video, and this is the first part of getting ready for a tournament. We just got all our stuff back in from Living Legends, and so now the process starts of saving up the money for PSP Chicago. So field layout came a couple of weekends ago. Looks pretty interesting. We got a nice little dinner bucket on the snake side. Biggest problem right now is money. We have $350 for entry, about $120 for paint, $300 for the plane flight up there, plus another $100 for the rental car, plus about another $300 for the hotel. So it's looking like turning into about a $1,000 trip. And to make things worse right now is we only have 4 out of the 5 players that we need to. So as always, tournament paintball drama, it's no different for me than it is for anybody else trying to scrape up the money to go to this event. Alright, so here we go. Just got done with a weekend of practice, and this is always kind of the shitty part about getting ready for a tournament, especially one that's out of town. This is laundry that I got to do from practicing on Saturday and Sunday. There is all the cameras and all the stuff. There's my toolkit. And then here is my gear bag. Now something that's kind of cool about the dyed gear bag is that you can actually split it in half. So when I get to the thing, they tell me that my bag is 100 pounds and I need to cut it in half or I'm going to have to pay a fortune. I can actually cut it in half by unsnapping it, and it saves me a fortune on the fees, especially on the heavy bag fees. So here's the other thing that's kind of a pain in the ass. These are all the guns that we used this weekend, so I got to clean all those up, replace all the batteries and the hoppers and the tanks, and get all the tanks ready and all that stuff. So that's what's going on now. Today is Monday. Practiced on Saturday. This weekend I took Sunday off because it was Father's Day.
Okay.
Had a good time with the family.
As you guys know, at tournaments, Murphy's Law is in full effect. So that basically means anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So I've got about 48 hours until I'm leaving Tampa to go up there. So now what I'm doing is I'm going through my guns. I'm going through and I'm inspecting everything on my gun. Okay, this is a good time to obviously go through and re-lube your regulators and get to a chronograph to make sure that your gun is still shooting. You don't want to realize that you put your piston in upside down or something like that when you get out to the field. So you want to make sure that your gun is still shooting. Another thing you can do if you don't have a chronograph is just make a note. You can write it down with a pen or whatever, how many threads in the adjustment screws are, so that way your gun is shooting the same way when you're done with it. Also a good idea to tighten up your ASA, tighten up your grip frame screws, tighten up your feed neck, your eye cover screws. Just go around the gun really carefully and basically just pre-flight your gun before you get out there. Always, inspect your detents, replace your battery. You're going to a tournament, you're spending hundreds of dollars. Why not just throw in a new battery, put new batteries in your loader, new batteries in your gun, and have the batteries ready when you get to the field? Because I can't count how many times people say, I just put brand new batteries in it last night, and you forget to turn it off, and then the morning of the tournament, your gun's dead. So that's what I'm doing right now. I've got all my laundry done. Everything is washed. You got to make sure that your pack is washed. Everything's washed. You don't want to go out there with old hits from the weekend before. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It's going to probably take me about an hour and clean up both guns. I've got my Vice and my Intimidator. I'll be getting both those ready to go for Chicago. So we just got to the airport. Say hi, Willie.
Hi.
Yeah, that's Willie. He's cranky when it's 5 o'clock in the morning. How many people are here? Not very many people are here. 6. So we just got to the airport, flying to Atlanta and then to Chicago. So we'll be at the event. What time we get there? 1? Their time?
11.
11?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll be at the event at noon. Try to get some sleep. Maybe don't miss our flight this time.
No way. We're going straight to the event, dude.
You want to take a nap first?
No, man. I'm getting the coverage. I'll take the nap afterwards.
All right. So
I want to
later.
go get me some.
What's up? It's Friday, about 7 o'clock. And this is an important part about playing tournament paintball. It's walking the field. So the whole team's out here. There's no one else out here, as you can see. But we're going to be out here walking the field as much as we can until the sun goes down or until they kick us out. Spending about $1,200 each a year to play. So might as well take advantage of all the daylight you possibly can. So let's go walk this field. So we just got done walking the fields. It's 9 o'clock, they're kicking us out. So this is where we'll be at tomorrow. So we got a couple plays, got a couple ideas, try them. If they work, they work. But like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Hopefully when we get punched in the mouth tomorrow. So I'm going to show you something else really quick. One of the best things that PSP ever did. Here's the pits. There's the toilets. Pits, toilets, pits, pits, toilets. The reason why this is awesome is I've been to so many PSP tournaments where I've walked through the gate to go to the bathroom, left my ID in my bag, and couldn't get back in. Thank God that they did this right. Pits, and there's the toilet. There's the pits, there's the toilet. Thank you, PSP. I'm going to give you a smooch. Alright, so I'm going to take you guys through some of the things you got to do when you first show up to a tournament. Now, it's kind of overwhelming because as you can see, you know, you've got booths everywhere, you've got vendors everywhere, there's stuff you want to buy, people you need to see, and this, that, and the other. But when you first show up to a tournament, especially PSP, one of the very first things you ought to do is try to find this, and this is what's called the planogram. Okay? One of the biggest reasons why you need to find like this little planogram here is because it's going to tell you, one, where to check in, which is important because at the PSP you need to have your entire team there at the time you go to check in. You can't just check in one at a time. Other thing you need to figure out, what about paint? Where do you buy paint? Where do you pick up paint? Sometimes you have to pay for paint here and get a ticket and then walk a mile out into the parking lot to actually pick it up. So trying to figure out what's the paint logistics. Something else you need to look into, what time does the paint truck open? What time does the paint truck close? If your first game's at 7 o'clock and you wait until the next day to buy your paint and the paint truck doesn't open until 8, well, you guys are going to be forfeiting a lot of games until you actually get your paint. So you need to make sure you know when does it. Most of the time, I do not leave the event the night before without having my paint. I've had too many times where somebody slept in, the paint vendor got drunk, whatever. We're all human, we're all on vacation, we're all out here to have a good time, but also I'm here to play some games, and I'm not going to risk not being ready for my first 3 or 4 games because the paint truck's not there. So always get your paint the day before. Now, you're going to look here and you're going to see all the people that are here. This is PSP Chicago. You got Monkey with a Gun, the PSP store. We sell t-shirts, Virtue Paintball, Domino's Pizza, the Webcast, Sly Equipment, Exalt Paintball, Dirter, Gorilla Air, Ninja Paintball, the Paintball Extravaganza, which will be out in September. The Bob Long techs are here. That's important. You know, if you're bringing a gun, your gun needs repair, you need to figure out where the techs are at. PSTA, Sandana, Paintballer 187, Eric's here. Discount specialty stores, Air Assault, MacDev Faceful. There's the first aid booth, which is important to know in case somebody gets hurt, somebody gets, you know, heat stroke or you know, something like that. Rib House, got some food. Italian Ice, Alien Paintball. Jack Rice is here, Understood Paintball. John's here, PB Fashion, Brandon's here. Bojo Food Summer Biz, Draxus and Evil. So those are your only choices here. But basically one of the first things you want to do is take your whole team and just get to know your way around as to where everything is. You can't see it here because it's obviously dark out, but all the bunkers are all red. Okay, now there's a Smart Parts field, there's a Draxus field, there's an Empire field, there's the Die field, there's the Planet Eclipse field. Well, they all look the same, and they're all blue and red bunkers, so you need to figure out exactly where you're playing. If you do not know where you are playing, you need to keep harassing people until you figure out where you're playing. The worst thing you want to do is show up and be at the wrong field. So probably one of the first things you want to do is, one, get to the event, do a quick tour around, get checked in, figure out the paint situation, figure out where your field is that you're going to be playing at, get your schedule, has there been any changes yet, and just be ready to get to bed early the night before, show up the next morning with at least 2 hours in advance. It gives you enough time to get all your pods, fix your gun if your gun has any issues, you know, just take care of anything, and then get out there on the field and play. And probably one of the most important things I could ever tell you to do is when you get, just before the tournament starts, when you get all set up, take an entire pot of paint, go over to the chronograph, and just waste the pot. Just waste the pot. The reason why you want to do that is that's going to tell you, is your gun having drop-off issues? Is your tank broken? Is your loader batteries low? Something will, you know, shooting an entire pot of paint, you're going to know right away if your gun is having issues or not, if your loader's having issues, if your tank's having issues, if your regs, your battery, your board, anything that could possibly go wrong. It's Murphy's Law, man. Murphy is here to screw your shit up. So get to the, as soon as you get set up, get all your gear on, you know, and take a pot of paint and just go waste it at the chronograph. I'm telling you, that will save your ass more times than anything else. Yeah, you get in this. Come here. We're playing our tournament. We're getting our ass kicked, and I'm here with Jacqueline, who's coaching us, but I think he's counter-coaching us. And there's Cole. So what are we doing wrong out there?
Tech. No, I just do guns.
Oh, you just fix? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the problem. We've been waiting for you to coach us.
Mike's flown me all the way from the UK just to take his guns for this event, so you know.
Sweet.
I'm here.
Well, we thought you were coaching. That's why we're doing it. We need a new coach.
No.